I work for the Violence Prevention Program, which is a community-based outreach and education program run through the Women and Children's Shelter of Barrie. And so what we do is that we reach out to the youth in our community between the ages of 12 and 18, and we educate and inform them to shift their societal attitudes and behaviors in the hopes that we can prevent, reduce, and eliminate violence in our communities. The youth that we serve, and particularly at the age that they're at, this is such a critical point in their relationship development. Not only are they forming the most social relationships they're probably going to ever have in their lives, but they're also forming those incredibly important relationships, those formative relationships in their young years. So if we can educate them about the signs of abusive relationships or unhealthy relationships, then we can literally transform lives. The other part of that is that this is also a great time to break those intergenerational cycles of abuse, right? So for kids who have grown up knowing abusive relationships, this is a really good time to interrupt that pattern before they have their own long-term relationships or they have children of their own. And thirdly, youth are incredible advocates. If we can harness that power, they are smart and they are capable more than anyone realizes. So youth are in a really amazing, powerful position to make change in their communities. We address the normalization of violence through education and sparking the natural sense of empathy and connection. So when we bring these stories to life, we give real life examples of people who have undergone, have been through abusive situations. And it really humanizes the problem. And by, educating them on the statistics and the data that we have surrounding these issues, it also helps them to understand the scope and severity of gender-based violence within Canada and within the Barrie area. I absolutely believe it should be implemented in schools. So in fact, we have been entering the classrooms virtually throughout the pandemic in secondary schools within the Barrie and surrounding areas. And we've had really great reviews from both teachers and students. And these are where these relationships are forming. This is where these relationships are happening. And it's an entire building filled with safe and caring adults who can support these children and help them, and the youth, and help them navigate through this incredible time in their lives. I fully support and encourage an open dialogue between parents and their teens. But if you've ever met a teen, they don't love talking to their parents about their social and romantic relationships. So it's super important that they do have a safe space to share this information. And I also don't think you can replace that peer-to-peer interaction. When a youth stands up and says, hey, I've been through something, and someone else says, me too. That is an incredible moment of power and empowerment for those youth to say, there is a problem and we're gonna do something about it. So there are lots of supports available in Simcoe County. We are really lucky to have them. The first place that children or youth should look is at their own school. So there are incredible social workers, child and youth workers, and guidance personnel who are available, as well as just safe, caring adults in the building, their teachers, their principals. That is the first place that they can turn. Otherwise, there are also lots of free and available counseling services through New Path, Catholic Family Services. And for everyone over the age of 16, any women who feel like they may be at risk of abuse, the Women and Children's Shelter of Barrie is always a great resource. So when we're talking about New Path and Catholic Family Services, they do have walk-in counseling available, and that can be preventative as well as reactive, right? So if youth feel like they need some support, there's absolutely support available out there before problems arise. Right? So, and part of that is that we're educating them about what some of those red flags might be. So it might not be that they're involved in an abusive relationship, but they might be noticing some unhealthy behaviors in their relationships, and not even necessarily romantic relationships. We're talking about all relationships, whether that be with their classmates, their friends, their parents, teachers, coaches. They have all sorts of relationships surrounding them. And by identifying those unhealthy behaviors, we can nip that in the bud and truly prevent violence in our community. We're having our very first in-person event, which is our Youth Symposium on May 14th at Georgian College in Barrie, and we are so excited. This will be an opportunity for youth to connect with other youth, as well as community organizations, and a chance for them to learn, but also to voice what their concerns are, so that we can help address these problems for them. So the May 14th, Georgian College, if you want to register, our website is www.barrieshelter.com.